be glad to have you stay rather than wage war over old
Hello everyone,
losses.
welcome to this video of Destiny.
Which is the
I've never done a
battleground
video
we're
for
in.
Destiny, this is my
I'm
first,
sure
and I
other
want to talk
emperors of the
about
past will
the
see the
state of
same,
Destiny,
but I
what
also
I
don't see
think they
them
could
here.
change to make it better,
I see
my
civilians
opinions
more than
on
a
where it's
rival.
at, and we're just going to talk about the portal, activities, the world map, weapons and crafting, because I feel like a lot of it is just, gone wrong, and I just give my thoughts and opinions on what I would improve, and we'll just see where we go from there, really, because I am sick and tired of this game, and Bungie, I've not played it for 8 months, and I just kind of lost interest due to, like, the way Bungie is as a company. I don't really want to support them or anything like that, and them making mistakes that are so simple is ridiculous in my opinion. And after watching loads of people, YouTubers, reading news articles and everything, it's kind of annoyed me. So I just want to talk about Destiny and just see where we go from there. But I'm going to start off talking about the portal and what I think of the portal, and like why they've gone in this direction has ruined the game for me, because I don't know, I don't like it. I just really don't like the portal. I feel like it's ruined the game, and for me anyway, that is. Like, coming back off the echoes and all the heresy and the revenant content, I just prefer that over what we got at the moment, and all the reskins of activities that have been used in previous seasons, which is annoying. Um, but yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm on the game. The look at the portal, I just feel like it's just convoluted, really, due to the fact that we've got the world map, and I've played the game since 2019. I'm not an OG Destiny player. I have followed the game since relaunch and everything of Destiny 1, but I have never played it due to not having a console at the time. But I started playing in 2019 because that's when I got my first console that could play it. But yeah, so I prefer this whole map, the world thing. I just prefer it. It's just simple to understand. You go to places where you want to go. Whereas the portal, I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, this does not make any sense to me. Like, what's the point of doing all these activities? Why are they all here? This could have been so much simpler than what that is, like what they've implemented. The fire team stuff as well doesn't make any sense to me, because the way the system used to be before, it made more sense. Pinnacle, I kind of like that, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because you kind of ruin what they've already got in place anyway, because they've already got it in the world map. So, for example, Vanguard, they could have just done a new tab for solo, because we could have the Vanguard ops and Nightfall for the 3-player one, and then just put solo ops right here. So that one could move over, and solo maybe in the middle or something, with the Nightfall, Grandmaster Nightfall, and whatever at the bottom. The Legends was always going to be the dungeons, all the rotations and everything. You could have put all the dungeons here. Honestly, I don't see why they couldn't. You got the raids here, that the old classic ones. You could also put the old raids up here, dungeons up here, sorry. And then just put the exotic missions at the bottom. Have all of them rotate each week. That's what I personally would do. The Crucible. This perfectly fine here. There was no issue with this. I had no problems with this. But with it being in the portal, I get lost, because I don't want the portal. The portal makes no sense. Like, why is this here when previously in every other part of the game before this whole update, it used to be down here? Iron Banner over here, fucking Trials of Osiris or whatever it was called, Trials or whatever it's called, was also like here or over here. It made sense. So why have we gone to this system? I don't know. It's just too complicated for me personally. Like, the fire team ops, it's just literally Vanguard ops, but you can select what mission you want to do. And I'm like, you could have done that in the thing. You could have done that under the Vanguard stuff. Vanguard ops is fire team ops. Give it a new name and just say you can customize it now. And then the same thing with solo ops. You could do the same thing because, you select one and you got your basic one. And then if you go to this, you can customize it. It's not hard to put an option in to say, I want customization versus just a preset one. That's personally what I would think of this anyway. The pinnacle stuff, yeah, I kind of like this tab because you get all your dungeons and everything. But again, your exotic missions have always been in a rotation on the legend stuff, which is in the middle. That used to rotate between each one and just going through all the systems of each map and each exotic that you can get from it and craft. So to me, the portal just feels like a convoluted, stupid idea that doesn't need to be here in Destiny. I don't like it personally. I just feel like they've just decided to put something in here just to give it a new coat of paint, basically. Whereas this whole world map, if you wanted to go somewhere, you went somewhere. But, oh well. I'm not in charge of the company, so I'm only giving my opinion. So we'll talk about the activities now because that's enough of the portal. I don't really want to talk about it more. It's an awful system. I don't like it. And the fact that they actually don't have Gambit on here is actually quite funny as like its own little tab. So yeah. So the activities, I'm bored of them already. I'm not going to lie. I'm bored. To the fact that the solo ops, I don't feel the need to grind it. I don't like it. After coming off the fact that the final shape was amazing, phenomenal. I love the final shape. Like the final shape was like the whole DLC was amazing for me. That's kind of why I kept playing Destiny was because of the story mode. I enjoyed the story mode. I enjoyed the activities that came with the story mode and the DLC. I liked how they structured it. So you went through each sections of the Pale Heart and you did this section in the landing, and then you progress through, so on and so forth, with each area until you get to the end and fought the Witness, which was absolutely amazing. But then you had the Echoes, which kind of ruined it, but at the same time, I kind of went like where they went as well at the same time. Forgot what the first one was called, the Echoes. Then you had the Revenant one, which I did play and didn't do the Heresy. Kind of got bored of Destiny at that point, boy. So I kind of liked how they went, and that the fact that Zavala lost his ghost, that was great because you're evolving the character, you're doing a lot of things, but now it just feels like it's all the activities that were previously done has been pushed to one side and just they went, all right, let's bring everything back, and just went on from there. It was just a horrible system. I don't like it personally. I feel like they could have done a better job with it. They could have just done it in like a rotational thing, like the activities of bringing the old ones as well as making new ones. Like, for example, why is the overthrow in the Pale Heart one of the best things they ever created, right? You jump in, you have your 3 waves, and then you got your final wave, and then you can go to the next one, and so on and so forth. Then you've got your Pathfinder, and I thought this was going to be the next step in the bounties, because this is repeatable over and over again. I like it, because you don't have to keep going back and forth to vendors to get bounties. They could have done the same thing for every place. They could have updated like Europa, Neptune, Savathun's World, Nessus, even the Dreaming City, the Moon. And you could leave the EDZ and the Cosmodrome because they're irrelevant at this point in time in Destiny. Like, you could have done all that, and then you could even have them on the actual tower itself. You could have just said, or you got Banshee. You could have put like a little symbol there for him for every weapon you do, you know, you slowly progress. I would have just done that, redesign everything, so the vendors become, you can actually go up to them, or you just click on it and do like the Pathfinder system, where you just go on here and just claim it all here. But Banshee can still be used as a way of getting new weapons and alternate weapons. But that's personally what I would have done. And the fact that, you know, like, we go to play the Blinding Well as well. Like, that's an awesome fucking, that's an amazing, it's like, public event. 6 people, I think it's 6 people can play. You go through waves, which is quite good. So I was thinking, why couldn't they do Overthrow on a new planet? Overthrow cross the Blind Well, or the Blinding Well, as I like to call it, because it kind of makes sense. Why not have a 6-person Overthrow and have a whole team put together and work together on a 6-man one? Make it harder. Have, obviously, the legendary mode on the actual thing. But, you know, I'm not criticizing what they are. I just feel like they could have done it together. And for those who did play Destiny back in the day, like with what's it called, the Armory Forge or whatever it was called, where you get those nice, gorgeous black and red weapons in Forsaken. I forget what you call it, and you had to do that event to get new weapons, and you got the blueprints for them. That was absolutely amazing to do. I quite enjoyed it because I came just after Forsaken came out. I think I started. But, you know, like, I like Destiny. I've been a big fan of Destiny. I just don't like the way Bungie have gone about things with activities. I just feel like they're just rehashing the whole the old activities put in place. I don't know why. It's kind of boring, feels repetitive, and the portal system just makes it even worse, knowing that they're there. I went back to playing the Pale Heart, had more fun grinding on that than I did on the portal. So, whilst we're on the portal and the activities, let's talk about the world map. I feel like the world map has been neglected as like another tab that's not important anymore. It's annoying, it really is, because I actually like it. Because if you want to go somewhere, click a planet, you'll go there. If you want to do the Pale Heart, go ahead, click it, you'll teleport there. Or if you want to do the Vanguard, Gambit, Crucible, it was all there at the top. It was simplified compared to what the portal is. It's simplified, but now the portal has made that irrelevant, and I just feel like they ruined it. Because the portal does not need to be there. I don't understand why it's there. Like, for someone like me coming back to this game after 8 months, it just feels like they took a step back instead of a step forward. We're trying to make everything more not fluent, but more, just more streamlined. Like, you could have made it much more to the point where you want to be. And the fact that you could have put most of this portal stuff into Vanguard and the Crucible Legends, even maybe some of the maps have their own little icons, like the raids and the dungeons on the maps, on the planets. I mean, you could have done all that. But the problem is, at Bungie, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know who designed it, who came up with it. It just seems a bit stupid to have. But, you know, I don't know, it's just confusing. And the fact that this whole season as well, like this Edge of Fate, has ruined grinding itself, because all your old weapons don't get tiered. The loot feels much more restricted, because I have seen and heard that your weapons and everything won't make a difference in certain activities, and some activities actually require you to use current seasonal weapons and seasonal armor, which I feel like is a bit stupid. Yeah, give them a bonus, yeah, but don't nerf people for having like a preference. I still prefer old weapons. I've still got old weapons. I've still got new weapons. I've grinded weapons. I've got red border weapons, which I do love. I love the crafting system for weapons and the armor. I love the armor. So if we look at my vaults, I do have one of my favorite weapons in here, if I could find it. I've used since I started on the PlayStation. There it is. Go figure. This was one of my favorite weapons. I used this back when a year after playing Destiny, and never got rid of it because I enjoyed it. I love the weapon, but I can't use this weapon in activities that I want to use them in because they require you to use the seasonal weapons, which I don't like. I love this weapon. It was one of my favorite weapons. I don't know why they've done that system. It just feels like they've gone backwards. And the fact that I've grinded out getting all these red border weapons and everything to craft them, or the fact that I've grinded and got weapons that were rare to get hold of. Like, I've still got the Chroma Rush from when it first came out. I think I even got the new version. I can't remember. I probably do somewhere. But, like, it makes no sense why they've done this system. It just feels like the weapons and armor has just been like a sunset, and everyone obviously hates the sunset system. No one likes sunsetting because you just ruin the whole pool of weapons. If you want to get rid of weapons, just say that you're going to relaunch the game. Make a Destiny 2.5 or a Destiny 3. Then you could just sort of say, we're starting again, but we're bringing the tier system. Nothing wrong with that, because people would understand. A sunset in a new game makes sense. But bringing back old weapons, putting them into a tier system, just feels like laziness, and it's just pure stupid, really, because you're just making people grind for the same stuff over and over again until they get bored of the game because you want to add the new system. There's nothing wrong adding a new system, but you can't just do that to old players and new players. New players, they don't need to worry about the old weapons, but the problem is the weapon pool gives you the old weapons. Why? Why can't you do activities across the system and get tiered weapons as well as the old weapons? Like I was doing the Blinding Well and the Overthrow, and I got old weapons, but obviously they still gave me numbers that I need. But the problem is I can't really use them, because if I want to do like later endgame stuff, when I get to that point of like 450, 500, whatever level, I can't with them weapons. Even the weapons that I have crafted and worked my arse off to get to them, I can't, which kind of makes no sense. I just feel like, well, what's the point of keeping these weapons and earning them in previous seasons when the new season is just going to say, yeah, we don't want you to use them anymore. We want you to use our new weapons, which is fair. Use our new armor, which is fair, which I do. I love using the new armor each season, and I always craft them. Not craft, but I always do like builds and everything around those new sets of armor, and I tend to try and get armors based on like the multiplayer side, the activities that I do within those seasons, and the Vanguard stuff. I used to do all that kind of stuff. So I used to make different sets of weapons, which probably a lot of people did. But now it just feels like they're forcing you to do that. You didn't have to do it previously. You could have used the season before and just keep using that armor. But now it just feels like they're pushing for this, which I don't like, because I like to use what I like to use. Are we going to get Go Figure again? And do I have to unlock it again? Which I don't really want to, even though I already own it. Because what was it? Into the Light DLC content that was free? That was fantastic. It made Destiny more fun to play because Okay, they've reskinned the weapons. Recluse came back and all that. But the problem is, it worked. It worked because they added new perks, but you wasn't forced to use them. You could even get the old rolls as well. You were just never forced to get the weapons and armor and everything. But it was optional. But it was a nice optional. But this whole new system they've got in place is just really ruining Destiny for me. But you know, if you're gonna put these new weapons in with the tiered system, you could throw them into all activities and stop focusing on the same activities. If I want to go back and do the blind well, I should be able to get a tier, even if you said tier 2 weapons or tier 3 at the push, if you did a tier 3 difficulty, that would make more sense. Or even if you did the overthrow, if you were to get to the end of it, you get the tier 3 weapons. You know, at least get something for doing those activities. If you're new to the game, if you're returning, you know, it kind of works. But I don't like it. I don't like that, the fact that you can't just do that. Can't go back to these old activities. For new people that come in, they get all these nice new weapons, but they can't use it in the end game stuff and be like, well, I like this weapon. I want to keep using it. But the game's like, no, we can't let you use it because you have to use our seasonal weapons and the seasonal armor to do the higher tier stuff, which kind of ruins the whole point of grinding for weapons and grinding for armor as a new player, because you're getting all these cool new loot that you can't use. You're learning about these red border weapons and the crafting. Well, it's pointless because Destiny has abandoned the crafting. I don't know why. I love the crafting personally, but we'll talk about it in a minute. But it's just a joke that they've put this system in place. They've got these systems, but they've thrown them out the window for this new system that ruins the game and the balancing and everything. So I don't understand it. Secondly, I like the crafting. I love weapon crafting. I know how to fix it, and I'll give my honest opinion about crafting. I love it. I think it was the best system in the game, personally, because I love grinding for the red borders and customizing my gun the way I want to customize it. But there is a way to fix it. There is also a way to put the tiered system on the crafting weapons, and I will show you, because it's not that difficult. So, as you can see, I've got my lovely weapon, whatever that word is. I am not good with English sometimes. I'm dyslexic, so we'll go with that. So if we go to Savathun's world, right, the Enclave, right. So with the tiered system, you could easily do this with these weapons. It's not that difficult. All you have to do is an update on them, and you'd get where you need to be with them and what you want them to be. I know why people don't like it, because there was no randomness to it, and I can fix that with a simple suggestion, and it's not that hard, honestly. So as you go down here and you go to your Enclave, right? Alright, so you got your shaping weapons, yeah? You shape your weapon, you put what you want on it. So if we do this one, same weapon, right? And you have to be level 20, level 20, level 20, right? So that makes sense. Leave that as it is, right? Leave them as it is. But why can't these all be blank? Why can't these be blank? You just you get two options, right? Two options, and two options, right? That's fair enough. But as you can see, these require levels. Why not have a leveling system in place where you level up the weapon, you come back here, and these can be rotated, randomly shuffled every time you level up 5 levels, right? So what I mean is, why can't this weapon here, have a random roll every time you go up 5 levels? Because every 5 levels, you can random roll one of these columns into one of those that you can purchase. So, it's because I got it equipped. No, I'm an idiot. One sec. So I've got this level 30, right? Why can't I just say I want to random roll one of these? So I could get one of these seven, right? And it's always going to be random. But that's every 5 levels. And then every 10 levels, I'll get a tier, which gives me a chance to get a golden version of that, like say about a 5% chance of getting the gold version of one of them in that slot. But you can re-roll for any slot you want. I don't see any harm in that, because that's what people grind for. People get weapons, but because they're trying to get the god roll. Why not make the god roll in the crafting weapons into this? Why not just say, right, I've got enough tokens. Say you get tokens for leveling up your weapon every 5, and you get 1 token. It costs you 1 token to re-roll this slot, and it can be any number of these. And then you get your slot, and then you do that one. But say like every 15 levels, you can re-roll all 4 because you might have to be forced. But you also get special tokens from getting to 15 that you can also hold on to certain slots, that you can lock that one in place. You can lock that one in place every 15 levels. I feel like that would make the grind a bit more entertaining instead of going out and getting new weapons, because you go out and grind the weapon level and you can get tokens for every 10 levels. You get a token to randomize those slots that you individually want. But every 15 levels, it randomizes all 4. But you can also get a token for every 15 levels to hold on to that one slot. But it's a risk-reward thing, because would you risk it and place it on one of them, but it might take you a while to get the same one? So for me, if I wanted Killing Wind, and I got it once, but I also had another perk which I wanted, say Flared Magwell, but I had to pick between them two, so basic one and the basic one of that. I'd have to pick. But it kind of makes everything like that. But what stops you from progressing is you have to be forced to re-roll on the 15th level, or else you can't level up the weapon. That's personally how I would do it. I love the crafting system. I think it's a fun system. I love the fact that you can shape weapons and get new weapons and make them the way you want. But you don't have to. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, you can also just go out and grind those weapons. If you don't want to craft them, you can go and grind them. You can go still get them, because you can still get the basic version of the weapon. So, like this, I've got the Peace of Mind basic one, but I can keep grinding that and get a roll on that I want, or I can craft it and get a roll that I can somewhat make, but still get it randomized. These can be still randomized of the rolls. And there's no harm in doing that. Like, each roll and each section will be random. It'll never be the same. So that's how I would do that, personally. So that's how I go about the whole crafting system, and how I would implement it into more of a fun, also crafting way. Like, you could still have customization. Like, you can re-roll, and it'll give you the option of either keep that perk that you want on, or go for a new one. It's going to be risk reward, because you're risking the chance of getting the one that you want, but you're not getting rewarded if you go for it, as well as like getting a token to keep hold of it that's permanently stuck there. It'll be permanent. It'll never have to change. So you'd think about it, people who stream the game every day, who play the game every day, can level up their weapons constantly, but they may never get the same roll. But the max level should be 100. And okay, fair enough, max level is 100. But then if you don't get the rolls that you want, you have to go get the gun again, or craft it. I don't know how people feel about that. I personally like that idea. If I get to level 100 and don't get the rolls I want, I have to recraft the weapon and then just go back and level it up again, because that's all you do in Destiny. You go out, get the roll that you want, If you don't get it, you redo the activity. Keep rinse and repeating until you get the role that you want. That people, as they say, is the gold role. So like, for example, you might have an opening clip plus killing wind, or demolitionist and killing wind, or, you know, stuff like that. People get those roles on hand cannons, SMGs and everything. So I don't see why they can't do that for the crafting weapons. You can still have both systems in the game for those who enjoy the crafting system and those who don't enjoy the crafting system. So that's what I think. I don't know what people think about this, but I personally like that. But yeah, the portal system, dreadful. It needs to get scrapped. Scrap it, redo it, restructure it. If you want new people to get into the game, the way portal should be is, here's some recommended activities. Put recommendations in there. Put the recommended stuff that you want in there that new people might want to try, like the Starcross exotic quest or the Presage for the exotic quest. You know, that's how I would do it. It's not rocket science to do stuff like that. And then the activities, make a new planet or restructure planets. Make the Cosmodrome and the EDZ together, but you can transition between them like you do in the Overthrow on the Pale Heart. Had to think of the name then, because you can combine them both together and then go from the EDZ into those other sections that are in between the Cosmodrome. It's not, it makes more sense to do it that way, because you could make it more fun and accessible. Bring tiered weapons into these older activities. Bring new activities like a combination of the Overthrow and the Blind Well. Or you could do the Armor Forge thing again, where you get a weapon frame, level it up by doing activities, and then you can get a chance to get the weapon, like you did back in Forsaken. I love that system. Why haven't we seen the Infinite Forest return as a old thing from Season of the Hunt? Was it the Hunt? I can't remember. You know, like, there's so many things it could have done which would improve Destiny in replayability for newcomers, veterans, people who love the crafting system. Remake activities for everyone. You know, it's not that difficult. I personally would love to make a game with a team of people to do a Destiny-like game where I would improve on it, but that might be for another video of what I would do with Destiny-type game, where I could make it better than Destiny. It's not rocket science. All it takes is someone just to look at Destiny and go, here's all your flaws, here's what I would do to make it better, because the crafting system is what I would do personally. It may sound a bit convoluted and overcomplicated, but at the end of the day, once you start getting into the systems, it'll make more sense and you'll get better understanding of it. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like a joke of a game and a gaming company as well. Like, I feel like they've just basically might as well just done Destiny 3 at this point if they're going in this direction with everything. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that, really. I know a lot of people will not have the same opinion. I like Destiny, but the problem is it's Bungie I don't like. The reason I stopped playing was because of the whole stealing people's art, the whole thing with how they've just monetized Destiny and how egregious they are with the Eververse. The fact that they're recently with the Iron Banner and how that's only just got one new weapon and the armor set was locked behind the paywall in the Eververse, but then they've changed their mind, and it doesn't feel right. It just feels like they're just scrambling for like trying to keep people happy, when in fact they should have just take a break. Like Destiny, Bungie, just take a break from like developing games, because Marathon is not where it needs to be. Marathon's going to be another 2 years at least. before they get it back to where it is, because I doubt when it comes out it's going to be in a state where it needs to be. The fact that it was supposed to be out in what, 3 days or so is ridiculous, because today's the 22nd and it's supposed to come out the 25th. I think, I could be wrong, it might have been the 15th, I can't remember, but the fact that it was supposed to be out this month is ridiculous. So yeah, forget doing marathon, go back to Destiny, remake Destiny 1, or just fix Destiny 2, all the bugs as well, and just fix it. Like, it's not hard to fix. It just put things in places where they need to be. Fixed modes, make modes better, add a rotational playlist for like exotic missions, like another tab for more exotic missions, so there's like 2 a week of rotational ones. Or even the fact that you could just put the solo ops in the Vanguard thing and still keep Grandmaster and have the whole ability to customize what you want. Because it's just as simple of, let's just change this. Instead of launching it, you could customize it before you launch it. You know. I don't know. It's just, yeah, that's how I do it. But oh well. Well, that's it from me anyways, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Hope you see where I come from, like where I'm coming from with my thoughts and opinions with everything. And I hope it's just Destiny gets better, really. And it's just a shame that it's getting worse over the years. The final shape was amazing. I loved it. I liked how everything was done. The activities, the end game content with a 12-man raid. That was great. Well, not raid, but activity, 12-man activity to fight the Witness. That was amazing. The story ended, and the fact that they seem to run out of ideas is ridiculous. But hey-ho. I'll stop rambling now, and I'll let you all have a good rest of your day, and take care. Bye for now. Please like and subscribe if you really want to. You don't have to. I don't pressure anyone, but yeah. Bye.